We started gardening in a new area of our property that's actually fairly close to the woods, and deer tend to traffic it fairly often. So we decided this year we'd go ahead and put in a new fence around that new area, and that way we can kind of keep out as many critters as possible. So today I want to show you how we got our fence posts. Since lumber was so expensive this past year especially, we decided to go ahead and save quite a bit of money by just making our own fence posts out of lumber from our own woods.
So as I come into the woods, what I'm looking for are some of these smaller fallen trees, still kind of propped up, still dry and as straight as possible. Also, larger trees that have long straight sections that I could cut to make these posts. But I want these posts to be at least about 10 feet tall, because I'd like to put about 3 feet of that into the ground. Of course, they're going to be thicker at the base, but as long as they're not bigger than about 6 inches, then they should fit into any holes that I make with my post hole digger. The thicker they are, of course, the longer they're going to last before I either need to brace them or replace them due to rot.
So taking a look at this first one I got, I cut off the very end where it had rotted here, and then that's where it broke and fell. If we look, got about a 5-inch diameter here, and the thicker the top is, the stronger the overall post is going to be, and just under 4 inch up here. And I'd say it's relatively straight. This is an ash tree. We'll probably have a lot of ash trees out here to choose from because the ash borers have been pretty rough out here. But this one I'd say is good enough, at least for a post along the side, even if it's not quite as thick as I want for a corner post. So we'll go ahead and keep it, and we'll keep looking for more. It actually feels really nice to be able to clear these out. They often get in the way of other logging projects, and they feel really inefficient to process just for firewood anyway. But using them as these posts, I think, is about the best way to utilize them. Alright, so I gathered several of these logs that I think should be good candidates for posts for the fence. I'm going to go ahead and start scraping bark. And I'm going to do that primarily for the sections that are going to be underground. A lot of it is easy to get rid of, especially on some of these that have been dead for a while. They're peeling away already. So we'll go ahead and remove that. We're going to put paint where that bark was, and hopefully that'll help seal these a little bit better once they're in the ground. I'm only trying to peel off the bark and paint them on this bottom third or so, just that bottom 3 to 4 feet. Just so where it's making that ground contact will have better protection. And then I am also sealing up the tops of these as well, as that would be another point at which they would dry out and potentially crack and that sort of thing. And I want them all to dry evenly, so that way we don't have them break apart and decay any quicker than they need to. And here are the posts that we've got done so far. So we've got 19 posts here. All of these have been painted along the bottom because we've got a lot of water to deal with here, and show you some of that here in one of these holes. You can see the rim of the water right here. This hole is 3 foot deep. All of these are going for that kind of a depth, so I don't have to worry about putting in concrete, and so it's really sturdy and lasts a long time. But about 2.5 feet of this is just filled with water, and some of these we had to get a little speedier with how we were digging them because the water just started filling up as we were going and splashing us in the face as we're post hole digging. So, you know, we'll see how these turn out, but definitely water is something we're dealing with on these holes, and we'll drain some of that out as we put these posts in. Just wanted to show you that as well.